What is up, everyone? Brothers Williams here, and we're coming at you with something new that we haven't really done, but we've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah, so what we want to do today is talk about movies. We have enjoyed movies for a really long time.
Ages,
since we were little kids.
since we were wee little laddies.
Wee little ones. And, as we've grown up, we've learned a lot about different movies, movie-making techniques, and what makes a film good. And so what we want to do today is talk about a bit of an older movie, but it's I think it's one of the best movies ever. Kevin has only seen it just once today. We watched it before we came.
I'd seen bits and pieces before, but not enough to say whether it was good or not, but now I can.
Yeah, so what we're going to be talking about today is the film The Prestige, directed by Christopher Nolan. The basic premise is that there are these two magicians who have a professional and personal rivalry, and things get deeply personal between them, and it gets pretty crazy how the lengths that they're willing to go to compete with each other and to one-up the other.
Oh boy, do they do it. Well, how do we want to start? Your views, my views?
First, we're going to talk about spoiler alerts.
Spoilers.
So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you just shut off the video and go watch it right now. You will learn so much by watching that film about what makes a good movie.
Then you can come back, see if your views match ours, or maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. Throw it down into the comments below what you think about the film The Prestige and whether we're off base or whether we're right on. So, yeah, let's start with you, Kevin. What were your impressions first time watching the film all the way through today?
Okay, well, I'd have seen parts of it, like some in the middle, most towards the end where it was, kind of revealing how they did the tricks. Now, first and foremost, let's get the spoilers out of the way. At the end, it's revealed that one magician has a twin brother to do his trick with, as they call it the transported man, where one disappears from one side of the stage and appears on the other. And then the other magician has somehow gotten his hands on a cloning machine from Tesla, which brings up the idea of which one's the original if they're both exactly the same from that exact same moment. And there's been quite a few games out there that have done that, but I hadn't really thought of it in that degree where it was not just your brainwave patterns being transported to like a machine and your body's been dead for ages, but like an actual person in front of you kind of thing. It blew my mind, because the whole time I had thought that he had somehow had a double of himself as well and was just killing them all, but that wasn't the case. And trying to piece together everything that was going on blew me away. Like, the storytelling was amazingly done. It was non-linear, so you had it going back and forth, but it wasn't so non-linear that you couldn't keep up with it, like other films have done, where you're jumping back and forth between the past and the present, and you're like, what is going on? But this one did it in such a way that you had the end at the beginning, and then you started in the middle, had bits and pieces of the present here and there, and then you got back to the end where everything was wrapped up, which is a very good idea for storytelling if you can do it properly. The atmosphere was great in there. You felt like you were actually in, what was it, late 18th century London?
Yeah, Victorian kind of England.
Victorian England.
Turn of the century kind of thing. Technology is rapidly advancing in ways that people hadn't seen before, and we're just barely recognizing these changes.
And it didn't feel off base anywhere because of that. You felt like it was the right time period. Nothing was out of place. Except maybe the cloning machine, but who knows what Tesla had going on at that point.
Yeah, well, all we know is Tesla's a genius and he makes science go crazy.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Loved the Star Trek sound effect in there, by the way. That was a nice little nod, maybe. I don't know.
Is that like transporter stuff?
Yeah, the transporter.
Oh yeah, yeah. I hadn't even really thought of that. I was just thinking like electricity.
No, that was the Star
Yeah.
Trek transporter sound effect.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah, so I thought it was very well done. I don't know if that's really what magicians are like and if they're really that cutthroat with each other, but it was... Whew!
Yeah.
Wow. There were moments in there where I was like, are they going to be okay? Are they dead? What is going on?
The answer to that is yes.
Like a good magician film should be, it keeps you guessing. Even at the end. Even after you've seen it, you're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So, that's my take on it. You've
Yeah.
seen it multiple times. What was your thoughts?
So, just like he said, it keeps you guessing. I've seen this movie I've seen it 3 times this year, so 3 times in the past 6-7 months. So I've probably seen it like half a dozen more times, between half a dozen and a dozen times, basically. And this time, I finally figured out, like, I know exactly what happens in it, where I can pinpoint, okay, Borden is the brother who's in love with Sarah at this point. This is the brother who isn't. This is, when they switch and who's talking when. And I also think that the daughter is actually the daughter of the brother who didn't love Sarah. Yeah, because he loves that little girl. Why would he love her so much?
You're right. Whoa.
Because he said the only person who is competing for my affection for you is our little girl.
Oh.
And there's a look when the brothers are sincere, there's a look in their eyes that you can just tell that they're being honest. And when he says that, he's being honest.
And that's the same actor playing both brothers.
Yeah.
So that's... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is some... Christian Bale is a top-notch actor to be able to do that.
Fantastic actor. And what's really awesome about the film is when, close to the end, where he's talking about Angier's new trick when he comes with the real teleported man. And he's like, how's the trick done? Why can't you outthink him? And then he's also there saying, we're going to leave him alone. The camera angles are 180 degrees from each other. And Fallon is barely there. So he switched. He switches. But at the same time, like, when you look at the images put together, you cut out Fallon and you can see the brothers arguing with each other. The one who's in love with Sarah says, let's just leave the trick be. The one who didn't, who loved Olivia, he can't let it go.
Wow.
And it's really interesting. And I think that what happened is the brother who loved Sarah was Fallon the night that the other brother tied the rope. And he tells him, I tied a slip knot, when he didn't. And the brother, who's basically, I feel like the more kind-hearted brother, but that's, how do you say that when one brother is helping his brother find the love of his life and you're there and
sleeping with his wife
and you don't care for her? That would be so difficult. But anyway, so that brother who fell in love with Olivia, I think he's the one who tied the knot. And he would tell him, no, I tied the slip knot. And the other brother was like, you had to have tied the one that didn't come undone. And that's why he said, when he went to the thing, he says, I don't know. Because he wasn't there. But the other brother swears up and down that he tied the slip knot.
Yeah.
so he can't know. The other one will swear that he, But yeah, just like the cinematography of the film is, it's amazing.
I'm still reeling from that. Just the realization that you brought on just now.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I love about this movie is that I've watched it so many times, and every time I've learned just like a little bit more about what's going on. Like right now, I still don't know if Sarah knows that they're twins. Like if she really knows, or if she thinks that like they're that he's a schizo, and has like multiple. Well, I guess schizophrenic. We'll edit out schizo because that's not the right word. But that he has multiple personality disorder. And that's what she thought was going on.
Yeah, they never really did tell you if she actually figured it out or not.
You don't know.
Like, there's moments where people will say things that will probably make the brother think they know, but is there 100% certain that they know?
Because, like, when she's like, no more lies, no more, secrets, do you love me? And in that moment, he realizes that she doesn't know.
Yeah, she didn't.
Because he was just like, no. Instead of, like, understanding, like, okay, this is going to be like a roommate situation when I'm me and not the one who loves you. And so it's just, it's mind-blowing. And yeah, like watching this time, one line where Angier goes in pissed off, you're stealing all my money making this crappy machine that doesn't do anything. And he's like, you built one for Borden, and the assistant's like, I never said he made a machine like this before. Because one of the first times I watched the film, I thought, oh, Borden had gone to Tesla and gotten cloned once. And that's what was going on. So I thought that they were clones. But they're not. He never went to Tesla, but Tesla still made this machine off of this theory, which is crazy. That he's like, yeah, I could do it. And so it's really, I mean, a mind-blowing film. Every time I watch it, I'm just blown away at the acting skills of these actors to portray all these different phases of people's lives and make it so believable and visceral. And then the ability of the director, Christopher Nolan, to portray this and to tie this all together and to use these items that have symbolism. And it's just a really, really fascinating thing to watch it on screen, to see it all come together.
Yeah, they used quite a bit of symbolism, because like right before he was getting the brother who loved Olivia was going to get hanged. He throws the rubber ball, which is part of the trick that they use for their transported man, where the other brother comes out, and he, bounces it to his brother.
Yeah.
And, to reappear in front of the rival.
Yeah. And, like, thinking about it, two brothers sharing one life, there's only one ball.
Yeah.
The brother who has the ball is the one who's living life.
Like, did they ever use it other than that? Like...
No.
I feel like they did.
They showed it a couple times, but, like, it's like this symbol of the one who is living his life now has the ball, because whenever they do the trick, the other one has to become Fallon.
Right.
Yeah. And so they switch the ball, and then that one is living the life now, And so, like, that symbolism, he gives him the ball, you're living the life now. You're living our life now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, Christian Bale did a great job. Hugh Jackman, love him. He was great.
Fantastic.
I want to say Alfred, but that's the name of the guy.
yeah, he's playing Alfred in Batman. No, It's Michael Caine. I
Caine.
always have to do his accent whenever I remember his name, because you have to say Michael Caine.
The way Michael Caine would say it.
Yeah, he'd just say it, it's Michael Caine. But yeah, I mean,
he was
everybody in that movie. It was a fantastic cast that they assembled. I mean, there were no characters I felt in that film that were weak.
Yeah, none of them felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was a good film.
Good film, well acted.
I'd say if you haven't seen it still after watching this, go see it now.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth it. Even if it did come out in 2006, it's held up well.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't rely on CGI for any of the tricks and things like that, where, you're going to be like, oh, well, CGI is so bad, or, oh, these techniques, like, the way this is shot is weird. Like, no, the cinematography is beautiful, the shots that they do. Like, one shot in particular when Angier first goes and sees the machine that Edison has built after Edison has skipped town. And
Tesla,
right. I was thinking Edison's men. But Tesla builds this machine, and it's sitting in this hall, and when the shot comes in, it's just like this foreboding thing taking far away, that's like impending. It's a room filled with light, but here's this massive dark object just slightly off center, but not in one of the thirds where it feels like that's the focus. It's unnervingly off and foreboding. And then you see Angier walk closer to it, and he becomes smaller on the screen, and in relation smaller than the object. So now this object has power over his life, and so these kinds of like cinematography skills that are employed, that when you break them down, they show you kind of what's going on. There's symbolism, really. It's a symbolic move because you can place the camera anywhere, and it's up to the director to decide what that shot is he wants to communicate. And so by putting it behind Angier, and he walks toward this machine and becomes smaller than it on screen, it symbolically communicates that he is now at the mercy of this machine, which, as you see the film unfold,
it takes over his life.
It does. It really does, over many of his lives,
Yeah.
Because really,
we won't go into that part too much, because that would kind of spoil the ending. But we'll keep that secret to ourselves. That one mystery.
Yeah, we won't tell who the man in the box is.
Yeah, no one cares about the man in the box.
No one does.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment down below. Like us, subscribe if you want to see more.
Yeah, and I'm going to add a link for another YouTuber. He's done a lot of film breakdowns, talking about art and things like that, and he's actually talked about The Prestige, and I love his take on it. So I'll put a link to his video. He's called The Nerd Writer. He's got great content. So make sure you check that out if you've enjoyed us talking about the film and want to see more of see his take on it and what he thinks is great about the storytelling in it. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
And that, as they say, is that.